What is going on? If you're here, you're wondering why, or at least you're wanting to learn why your brain and body always feels anxious. Now, I'm going to break it down in a very simple way. This is going to be probably a much shorter live stream, or sorry, I'm live streaming on Instagram. This is going to be a much shorter recording for you. But before we get into that, one thing I want to mention is this. If you've been diagnosed with something, OCD, right? Yeah, PTSD, CPTSD, something of that nature, and you feel like you've gotten worse since then, I want you to hear me when I say this next part. The reason you've gotten worse is because you bought into that label. You bought into the idea that you have OCD or PTSD or whatever the fuck the label is. You bought into that. What I mean by you bought into that is you've actually begun to believe that that's who you are or what you have. And like I tell all my clients, really, if you have it, I want you to put it in a bag and deliver it to me on my doorstep so you don't have it anymore. And kind of rethink it. Yes, because you don't have it. You're just feeling some certain feelings, and a well-meaning doctor or psychiatrist or psychologist or counselor or therapist was like, boom, labeled you right in the forehead. And you're like, I guess this is who I am now. And here's the problem. Listen to me, Instagram. Here's the problem. The strongest force in the human personality, the strongest force in the human personality, your personality and mine, is the need to remain consistent with the way that we identify with ourselves. If I identify as an asshole and I go be nice to people, there's a part of me that's like, yeah, but I'm just doing that to get what I want. Or if I identify as such a loving person and then I'm mean for a moment, I'm gonna like hate myself for that because I believe I'm a nice, loving guy. Or what's going to happen is we're never, ever, 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 ever going to be able to get out of the behaviors that a nice, loving guy does. Or if we believe that we are not deserving of something, right? I'm not deserving of a certain amount of money. You will literally, literally never get to that amount of money, not because you can't, but because you don't believe that that's who you are. So back to the labels piece. If a well-meaning doctor has been like, boom, bipolar disorder, or boom, OCD, or boom, whatever the fuck disorder, the reason you've gotten worse is because you bought into that that's who you are. And so think about it like a set point on a thermometer, right? If you set the temperature to, I don't know, 68 degrees, and you start doing better in your life than 68, you start doing 69, 70, 71, 72, and you're doing really good in your life. Eventually, your brain's going to say, hey, 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 you're a 68 degree, or what are you doing up here at 78? Get your ass back down there. And the air conditioning will come down, put you right back at that set point of shitty behaviors, shitty compulsions, shitty things to try to feel comfort because that's who you believe you are. That's who you believe you are. So, with all that in mind, don't identify as having a disorder. I don't even care if a therapist has put you on that. Stop. Stop it. And let's get into the actual video of what we're going to talk about here today. So, the title of this is Why Your Brain and Body Keep Feeling So Anxious. The thing that your well-meaning therapist probably hasn't told you about anxiety and just your nervous system in general is that your brain needs a direction to go. Your brain can only move forwards. It can't go backwards. It can't go left. It can't go right. The only thing it can do is forward. So we need to give our brain a direction to go. What I mean by this specifically is if we start talking about childhood trauma or the past at all to try to get to the quote unquote root problem of why we're feeling this way, you're never going to feel better. It's physically impossible. It is neurologically impossible. Here's the reason. Imagine if I say to you, don't think of the color blue. Don't think of the color blue. Do not think of the color blue. Don't think of the color blue. Don't think of blue. Don't think of blue. Don't think of blue. What color are you thinking of? Of course, you're thinking of blue. It's because every time you heard the word blue, your brain went, and it just popped up the picture of blue. You thought of blue. It can't perceive the negative. It can't go backwards. That's not how your brain works. It needs direction. So if we are replaying traumatic events from the past, if we are replaying some stupid thing that we did earlier this week or this year or this month, and we just, I wish I'd done something different. I wish I'd done something different. I understand that you wish you had done something different, but you need to take whatever the lesson is in that moment and say, okay, here's what I'm going to do next time. And then focus on where you want to go. Because whatever you focus on, you're going to feel. That's it. Whatever thoughts you think, whatever you focus on, whatever you imagine in your mind is what your nervous system is going to feel. And not only is it what your nervous system is going to feel, eventually you're going to create that. Because let's say I'm focused on, I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm focused on how a woman broke my heart 2 months ago, right? It was totally earth shattering. It was totally heartbreaking. And every time I think about it, I just feel, oh, like garbage. What's going to happen the next time I'm meeting a woman and she's pretty great? I'm going to think about that other stuff and say, no, I don't want that to happen again. And we're going to self-sabotage, for lack of better terms, that relationship. And it's going to reinforce our thoughts of being hurt. Another great thing just ended. Anything that we think about and feel enough, we're literally going to create it. And we're going to move towards it. But more importantly for this video, whatever you focus on, you're going to feel. And that's as far as I really want to go in this video. Whatever you focus on, you're going to feel. Now, why is this important? Because if I get on to a session with you as my client, or if just in general you're going about life right after this video, if you start again thinking about all the things you wish you had done better, or if you start thinking about the worst case scenario that's going to happen later today or later tomorrow or in your future, you're going to feel like shit. Like it's that simple. Your brain can only move towards things. So we need to give it something to move towards. And I'll give you another example of this. People say it's not that easy, it's not that easy. And they think that they have to get to the root cause. They think they have to jump into their childhood trauma and heal their wounds and what's the other one? Heal the inner child and all that. The intention of that is if we figure out what happened originally, or if we go to heal your inner child, these very Freudian ideas, which is older than Jesus himself, basically, um, it's not going to get you there. Because all you're doing, think about this, in your mind, you're thinking about whatever happened in childhood. As you're thinking about it, your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. So you're thinking about it, and your feelings start to change as you're thinking about it, right? And then you start to feel it more. And because your brain wants to move away from pain, it's going to keep thinking about it to be like, Tyler, get away from that, get away from it, get away from it. And it's not going to work because you're still thinking about it. It doesn't matter how much childhood work we do. If you continuously focus on what you don't want or you don't want to feel, you're going to feel more of it. That is how your brain works. We'll do the quickest experiment. Watch this. I want you to think about something right now that stresses you out most. Think of one or two thoughts that you have on a pretty consistent basis that stress you out entirely. Close your eyes if you have to. It's up to you. Pause the video if you have to. Think about a couple of them. Really think about it. Step into that moment like you're there now. Notice how your feelings started to change. Okay, now open your eyes, shake your body out, breathe. All right, now here's what I want you to do. Think of ponies and butterflies and all that shit. See, you're already feeling a little bit better just out of doing that and thinking about ponies and butterflies. I want you to think about something in your life right now that you could be excited about if you really wanted to be. Anything at all. It could be your coffee later on today. It could be hanging out with your kids. It could be building $1 billion business. It could be getting laid. It could be just having a good conversation with someone later. It doesn't matter what it is. Think about something. Close your eyes or keep them open. Think about something that you could feel truly excited about if you really wanted to be right now. And how does it feel to be really excited about that particular thing? What do you feel inside when you feel really excited about that? What do you notice? Who are you seeing in this little image in your mind? Now, as simple as it is, open your eyes and just notice how you feel. Very simple. We can even do it quicker than that. If I say right now, at the time of this recording, as I'm literally recording it right now, there are literally thousands of people dying in the most disgusting ways. People are being physically, sexually harmed right now. Human trafficking is happening all the time. All the time right now. Probably already a little bit squincy in your body, right? Just like the idea of it is not pleasant, and it kind of shifts how you're feeling inside a little bit, even if it's minor, but it does. Now, get out of that for a second. Think about this. Do you realize how many people are falling in love right now? Making love right now? Getting married right now? How many babies are being born right now into beautiful, loving families? Like, I think I heard a statistic that it's like one. Oh, that's faster. I was going to say one every second. That's faster than a second. But one like this. Every one of those snaps is a baby being born. That's crazy. But how beautiful is that? And how do you feel when you think about it? A bit lighter, right? You might not feel amazing, but you feel lighter than when I mentioned the other negative shit. So this is not about positive thinking, and it's not about negative thinking. None of that. It's learning that your brain only moves towards things. So if you make up the worst case scenario in your mind before it happens, or you replay past events that were really shitty, that would be like somebody coming into your house and I see the wall behind me. That would be like somebody putting a really scary painting there, disgusting painting, and then me staring at it and going, oh, 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 I don't like it. And we continue staring at it. That's what that's like. Would you just keep it there if someone painted that on your wall? Or would you go grab paint and white paint and paint over it? And then if you can still see it a little bit through the paint, you paint over another layer and another layer and another layer, and suddenly you feel all right because you're not thinking about it now. And now you can paint something beautiful on it if you choose to, right? The mind moves towards things. If you are focusing on things that are out of your control, worst case scenarios, and things that you don't want, you're fucked. You are what my mentor Tony Robbins calls technically screwed. Or Richard Bannon. I have lots of mentors. But the point of the matter is your nervous system does not know the difference between reality and what you just think about. And so you've got to be conscious of what you're thinking about. Now, most of you have been told that you have some sort of disorder. No, you don't. You don't have a disorder. You have a dumb habit. I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm saying the habit's dumb. We all have silly, dumb habits, right? We've all done dumb things and done them again and done them again. I get it. You overeat when you feel it, when you know better, right? You sleep in too much when you feel like you shouldn't. Like we've all done things that we're like, probably shouldn't have done that. And we know better. I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm saying the habit is stupid, right? It's just a bad habit. So one trick that is so simple, but it is neurological, meaning the process of it will start to happen automatically if you just do this a few times. I want you to notice this. Think about something that stresses you out that you don't like. Okay? If you want, you can close your eyes and do this, but either way, think about something that stresses you out. And in your mind, I want you to put a thick, 2-inch thick border around the whole thing in your mind. And then on the count of 3, we're going to shrink it down to the size of a little quarter and blink it black and white, back and forth. Okay? So think the stressful thought, put a 2-inch thick border around the whole thing in your mind. 3, 2, 1, nice deep breath in. Shrink it down. Black and white, 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 black and white. Now push to the side in your mind and think about something you really want instead. The business, the relationship, the money, the health, the vibrancy, happy kids, great sex. I don't care. Whatever it is for you. Just imagine that in your mind for a moment. Feel how good that feels. Then think about the stressful thought. Put the 2-inch thick border all the way around it. Shrink it down. Blink it black and white. Push it to the side. Pull up the image that you really like. One more time. Shrink the crappy image. Push it to the side. Think about the one that you love, the thing that you really, really want. Do it again. Shrink the bad one down. Shh. Put it to the side. Think about the thing you really want. Now, think about the bad memory. Oh, shh. Notice what happens instead. It already starts to do it on its own. Here's why this is important. If you practice this maybe 6, 7 times, literally that's it. But with sincere authenticity, where you're not just like you're actually like doing it and going with the motion of what I explained here. You're gonna notice that the next time you think about the memory, not only will you not really feel it, it's gonna automatically trigger you to think about what you really want. It's that simple. Your neurology is always growing neurocortical pathways in your brain. What a neurocortical pathway is you think a thought and it stimulates a feeling. That's literally what that is. Neurocortical pathway is a string of a connection in your nervous system. So all we just trained your brain to do in just a few seconds is when you think the negative thought or the thought that you don't want or the bad memory, this automatically triggers the better thought and good feeling. That becomes the trigger for the good thing. And so you don't need to think the bad thought to have that good thought and good feeling. But if it does come up, boom, it immediately goes to the thing you want. This is just how you condition your mind and body. Your mind and body are connected. You think a thought, you'll feel it. You think a different thought, you'll feel that. So it's as simple as that. Your brain needs a direction to go. Stop going to therapy and or just thinking about the worst case scenario. You've got to ask yourself, what do I really want? What do I really, really want? And it doesn't matter if it's something in like 5 minutes, like a nice coffee. It doesn't matter if it's tonight, like great sex. It doesn't matter if it is taking on the world. It doesn't matter if it's like building the biggest business and having a beautiful family in 10 years. It doesn't matter. Your brain will move towards what you consistently think about. So train your thoughts. Yeah, it takes a little training, but happens quite quickly when you do it intentionally. A bad thought comes up, nope, shh, put it to the side, think of what you want. It's that simple. Now, a therapist will call that a compulsion. OCD, no, you gotta feel it. You gotta feel it. No! That just trains the neurocortical pathways in your brain to fucking do more of it. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do that? That's like saying, I don't want to keep driving down this highway. It feels really bad. I want to get off this highway and go on a road that feels a lot more smooth, right? It's like, I don't want to go down a dirt road. It's too bumpy. It's not comfortable. I want to get on a smooth road that's paved and bring me somewhere I want to go. And your therapist says, no, you've got to feel all the, you've got to feel all the bumps in the road. What the fuck? No, you don't. You have to decide, this is not helping me. I'm going to turn around and get on a paved road that makes me feel good. It's like, I can drive nice. You've got to give your brain a direction to go, not just feel the feelings. It just doesn't help. If it helps you and you've somehow made it this far through the video, amazing, good for you. Then this video is not for you. But that's not how the brain works. The brain needs a direction. This is why even the most quote unquote successful people in the world who have what they want in their life, they will all tell you. Now, they might not know why, but they will all tell you they just obsessively focus on what they want. And any problem that comes up in their life, any stressful thoughts, right? They focus 5% on the problem, 95% on the solution. Okay, that's here, great, but what do I want instead? What do I want despite that? How do I want to solve it? They focus 95% on that, 5% on the problem. People ask me like, well, don't you have to be aware of the problem? Well, yeah, you're not going to not be aware of the problem, but you're just not going to like, imagine if you were facing a tiger in the forest and you're just like, I'm just going to stare the tiger in the eyes. That's probably not the best idea. Now, I'm not a tiger expert, so who knows? I have no idea how to get away from a tiger safely. Don't take my advice on that, but you get the metaphor. You don't just like keep doing the thing you don't want to do. You need to have change, lasting change. So if you have gotten any value from this YouTube video and you want to see if or how I can help you have quick and sustained change from this anxiety, panic, depression, anger, frustration, guilt, shame, all the distractions from it, and you feel like this has resonated with you a little bit, then directly message me at tyler.charlebois. It's in the my Instagram handle is in the caption down below this video. Message me there and drop the word relief in my direct messages, and I will have a conversation with you to see if or how I can help. Until then, subscribe and enjoy the channel.